By the time I finished breakfast, my cousin had exposed half the family, my aunt was ready to fight, my mom looked like she was about to cry, and my little sister had already run a psychological experiment on everyone in the house. And the craziest part? It all started because of one accidental voice message. It was a Saturday, which already made everything worse because weekends are the only time people in this house have enough free time to completely ruin each other's lives. I woke up around 9:30, and for once, nobody was screaming. That should have been my first warning. In this house, silence never means peace. Silence means something bad is loading. I checked my phone, and the family group chat had 43 unread messages. Before I even got out of bed, I opened it. At first, it looked normal. My mom had asked if anybody wanted pancakes. Noah had made some stupid comment about whether they were edible this time. Grandma had said she had a dream about broken glass and that everyone should be careful today. Nobody reacted because Grandma says weird, dramatic stuff like that all the time. Then I saw it, a 32-second voice message from Sophie. Right under it, the chat had completely exploded. My aunt was telling her to delete it, my mom was typing question marks, Alicia was acting shocked, Noah was losing his mind, even Grandma had sent a message saying, "Well, now it belongs to us." So obviously, I played it. It was Sophie's voice, and she sounded annoyed, like she was ranting to one of her friends. She said nobody in this house acts normal. She said Aunt Melissa steals everything that isn't nailed down. Uncle Ryan lies about knowing how to fix things. Alicia thinks she's better than everyone. Noah listens through doors like a little rat. And she was pretty sure my mom was secretly planning to move out and not tell anybody. Then she paused and added that if Grandma kept staring at her like that, she was actually going to lose her mind. That was it. 32 seconds. And somehow it was enough to ruin the whole day. I got out of bed so fast I almost tripped over my charger. By the time I got downstairs, the kitchen already looked tense. My mom was standing by the stove holding a spatula like she was trying to hold the family together with breakfast. Melissa was pacing like she was about to sue a teenager. Ryan was pretending to scroll through his phone so nobody would talk to him. Alicia was sitting on the counter drinking iced coffee like she had been waiting for chaos all morning. Noah looked way too happy, and Grandma was peeling an orange like this was the best show she'd seen all week. The only person missing was Sophie. Mom looked at me and asked if I had listened to the message. I said yes. Noah said he listened to it twice because it had replay value. Melissa looked like she wanted to throw something at him. Then Emma walked in wearing pajamas, grabbed a pancake, looked around the room, and asked if Sophie had finally said the thing she wasn't supposed to say. Nobody answered. Emma just nodded like she already knew. I asked where Sophie was, and my mom said she was upstairs in the guest room because she was too embarrassed to come out. Alicia said good because she should be. Melissa snapped back that Alicia had no right to talk because the message mentioned her too. Alicia just looked up and said that the part about her was true. She does think she's better than everyone. Honestly, that did not help. My mom tried to calm everyone down by saying breakfast was ready, which was such a hopeless attempt that even Noah looked offended by it. A few minutes later, Sophie finally came downstairs. She was wearing a giant hoodie, no makeup, and the face of somebody who had already been publicly humiliated before noon. The second she walked into the kitchen, everybody went quiet. She said she was sorry and that it was an accident. Melissa said that wasn't an apology, it was damage control. Grandma said accidents are just truth with bad timing, which is the most grandma sentence ever. Then my mom quietly asked Sophie if she had been serious about the part where she said Mom was planning to leave. And just like that, the room changed. Because the stuff about Melissa stealing, Ryan lying, and Noah spying was messy but almost funny. The part about my mom secretly wanting to move out was different. Sophie suddenly looked nervous. She said she had overheard Mom on the phone talking to a friend and saying she couldn't do this anymore, that she was tired of carrying everyone and sometimes wanted to disappear for a week and not tell anybody where she went. My mom put the spatula down and said that is not the same thing as secretly moving out. Sophie muttered that it sounded like it. Then Melissa laughed and said even the children know this house is falling apart. My mom looked like she might cry, and that instantly made me mad because she was the only reason this place functioned at all. I told everyone to stop acting like Sophie committed a crime over one voice message. Melissa snapped that Sophie called her a thief. Noah quietly said she does borrow things in a weird way. Ryan started coughing to hide a laugh. Melissa stormed out of the kitchen. At that point, it should have ended there, but this family never stops at one disaster. Around noon, my mom told all of us to clean the house. She said if people were going to act like wild animals, the house at least didn't need to look like their habitat too. Alicia had to clean the living room. Noah had to vacuum the hallway, which he acted like was cruel and unusual punishment. Ryan got sent to organize the garage, which was hilarious because the garage is basically where unfinished projects go to die. I got stuck helping in the kitchen. Emma was told to stay out of trouble, which is not a task, that is a fantasy. Sophie got sent upstairs to think about how to be more careful, which really just meant she had more time to text her friends about what happened. By 1 o'clock, half the outside world already knew. Noah had even made a note in his phone called Things Sophie Was Right About. On the list were things like Melissa steals candles, Ryan definitely lies about tools, Noah hears everything, Grandma is terrifying, and this house needs therapy. I told him he was evil, he said he was organized. Then Melissa came downstairs holding a bracelet. It was apparently one of her favorite bracelets, some sentimental gift from a friend, and she said she had just found it in Sophie's bag. Sophie came downstairs so fast she almost fell. She looked at the bracelet and immediately said it wasn't hers and she didn't take it. Melissa gave her that fake smile she does when she thinks she's about to destroy somebody and said that was interesting because it was inside Sophie's bag. My mom told everybody to calm down. Alicia said this was repetitive. Noah whispered Season 2 was stronger than Season 1. Then Grandma stepped into the doorway, looked at the bracelet, and said Sophie didn't put it there. Melissa demanded to know how Grandma could possibly know that, and Grandma slowly pointed at Emma. Emma froze in the middle of eating an apple. Mom looked horrified and asked Emma if that was true. Emma shrugged and said she borrowed the bracelet because it was shiny. Melissa looked like she was about to explode. Mom asked why on earth it had been in Sophie's bag. Emma took another bite of apple and said because she knew nobody would check her bag first. Nobody said a word. Then Emma explained in the calmest voice possible that she wanted to prove that everyone in this house always blames Sophie first. And the worst part was that she wasn't wrong. Sophie looked shocked, then hurt. My mom sat down. Alicia said that was deeply manipulative for a child. Noah said he was obsessed with her. Grandma gave one quiet nod like she was proud. Then Melissa snapped that she was not going to get psychoanalyzed by a child. Emma corrected her and said she wasn't even in 3rd grade. For some reason, that made Noah laugh so hard he had to sit down. Before anybody could even finish reacting, Ryan came in from the garage holding a set of keys and asking if they belonged to anyone. They were my mom's spare car keys. Mom looked confused and asked why they had been in the garage. Ryan said that was exactly what he wanted to know. Then Sophie suddenly went pale. She said, "Please don't be mad." The whole room turned toward her. She admitted that last week, while my mom was at work, she had used the spare car to go meet her friends. She said she meant to put the keys back where they belonged, but she must have dropped them behind a storage bin and forgotten. Nobody in that room was prepared for another confession. Mom just stared at her. Melissa screamed. Alicia said honestly, yes, this was exactly the kind of thing Sophie would do. Noah looked like this was the best day of his life. Ryan asked if she had at least filled the tank. Sophie said no. Then my mom, in the kind of voice that is way scarier than yelling, told everybody to get out of the kitchen. Everyone scattered. I stayed behind to help her clean up because at that point she looked like she had aged 10 years in one morning. After a minute, she asked me if I ever feel like she's the only adult in this house. I wanted to say yes all the time, but she looked so tired that I just handed her a towel and said, "Pretty much." She laughed a little, but it was the kind of laugh that made everything feel sadder, because under all the screaming and drama, she was still the one cleaning up everybody else's mess, literally and emotionally. By dinner time, something weird happened. Nobody was fighting, nobody was yelling, nobody was accusing anyone of theft, lying, spying, or sabotage. Everybody just looked tired and kind of embarrassed. Melissa did not fully apologize, obviously, because that woman would